What is up, my fellow alcoholics, and welcome to the channel. And in today's video, we'll be going over the FiNN LMG, and we'll be going over quite a bit loadouts that I had to run for this gun, and I tried out, and pretty much I found success with, and there is a couple loadouts. So without further ado, we'll get right into those loadouts for ground war, Warzone, 10v10, you name it. So for my Warzone loadouts, basically I went with monolithic suppressor, the long shot advantage, the tac laser for the ADS time, the VLK for the optic, and the 100 round belt. And this is just pretty much for Warzone for the regular LMG. And then going into the faster LMG, the only thing I pretty much switched is the optic for a Ranger foregrip, and I threw on the Pro Twist adverse barrel for the fire rate. Getting into my little 6v6 maps, stuck with the same barrel, the Pro Twist adverse. Went with the tac laser for the ADS, the no stock for the ADS. Stuck with the regular 100 round belt, and kept the Ranger foregrip to help with the pretty much the vertical recoil that you get out of that loadout. And then of course the legendary chainsaw setup. Still kept the same barrel, tac laser for the ADS time. Obviously you want to run the chainsaw stock to give it that overall look. Sleight of hand for the perk. And for the ammunition, I still stuck with the 100 round belt, and I'll explain a little bit why I stuck with that 100 round belt. So for the chainsaw, there's a lot of attachments for this gun to pretty much equip it to be a faster sprint to fire and even like a faster ADS time, especially with the ammunition of the telescoped rounds. The only problem with the telescoped rounds is that it reduces your damage range. So when you throw those rounds on, like, yeah, you'll be ADSing a lot faster, but you're more or less weakening the gun even more, I should say. Not even more or less. You're pretty much weakening the gun. And you're not having that really outrageous type of damage that you would with a regular 100 round belt. So, but my overall opinion for the FiNN, I like the gun. I think the gun is pretty fun, especially in the LMG mode, which you see right here in the background. This is like with the regular, like, non-high fire rate, you know, because when you get the adverse barrels, you're capping it out like over 1,000 rounds per minute, but tends to add a lot of recoil to the gun, and you're gonna have to go heavy on some attachments for recoil control and everything, and it kind of hurts it a little bit. But in the actual LMG mode of it, especially using it like in Warzone and even in ground war with these big maps, it's very easy to manage. The recoil control is amazingly good. It's easy. The iron sights are incredible. I mean, everything about this gun, you know, I really like it. It's really enjoyable. And to get pretty sweaty with it, I mean, throwing on the adverse barrels and getting that higher fire rate is a lot of fun too. You know, especially if you're going to be running in 6v6 maps and everything, shoot house, you know, rust, shipment, you name it. A lot of the smaller maps, Hackney Yard, the adverse barrels are really going to come in handy with that higher fire rate. And I hear a lot of complaints about the adverse barrels and the fire rate and the movement speed. That this gun this is an LMG that has AR movement speed, and the adverse barrels make it like pretty much OP, and you start melting people. You know, I do agree with that to some extent, because of how the reason why I'm not 100% on board with agreeing with that is because of how they actually set up the gun. So if anybody who uses this gun paid a little more, you know, closer attention to the attachments, you don't have very many attachments for ADS time. I mean, it doesn't come with any rear grips, you know, so you can't put on like a stippled grip and, you know, come out a sprint faster, ADS faster, anything like that. I mean, it only has primarily two really good attachments for ADS, which is the tac laser and the no stock. You know, like I said, with the telescope rounds, yeah, you'll get that ADS time, but you're sacrificing, you know, your range and your damage. You don't really want to do that, you know. So I mean, unless you're playing shipment and, you know, you got the chainsaw attached, or even without the chainsaw, if you're on shipment with those kind of close range, you know, gunfights, it's better to use that. But my overall opinion when it comes to that, with the complaints and everything, I think the gun is pretty balanced. I mean, the fire rate for the adverse barrels are insane, but like I said, you don't have very many attachments to be super quick with the gun. The gun's ADS time is still pretty, slow at that point. And then ranges like this right here, as you're watching, I have an adverse barrel on, and it's pretty hard for me to stay on target because of all the recoil that you end up fighting. You get a lot more vertical recoil with a gun. But close range, though, I mean, the adverse barrels, are really deadly. And in Warzone, it does melt armor pretty quick. In multiplayer, it melts people very quick, as you'll see at the end of the video. I end the video off in a shoot house. I think it was grind. Yeah, I want to say it was grind, where I used my little 6v6 loadout, and I went on a tear and started melting people. But a lot of those guys were sniping. But anyway, like, the whole point of it is that, to me, I think the gun's balanced. I think it's in a good place. If anything, if I wanted a nerf for it, I'd probably nerf the adverse barrel fire rate a little bit more. Like, bring it down to like maybe 950 rounds, maybe. Just something a little lower. Just kind of balance it out a little bit, But anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was a little useful for you guys. If you did enjoy it, don't forget the like button and subscribe. And look forward to other videos in the future. And I'll catch you guys next time.